You know, amazing atheist, as much as you talk about other people being stupid, you are the most common troll of them all, and that is the pseudo-intellectual. As the pseudo-intellectual, you love to talk about how ignorant other people are, how uneducated they are, especially the religious right or religious anything. When we all know you're right-wing yourself. You might not be the neoconservative Christian right, but you are the libertarian right, and that's probably why you're so upset about some guy saying that we should have a voting lottery. Because it would stand to reason that as you're poor, I'm poor, everybody else that votes is most likely poor, we'd have nothing to lose from a voter lottery. The people that voted before are still going to vote because they know that politics affects their country. So they're going to go to the voting booth anyway. And the people that stayed home or just were ambivalent to politics will most likely go out and vote too. It will not affect things either way because those of us that care get disappointed or win our small battles anyway. The only argument you can make is that the idiotic masses will not vote in accordance to your beliefs, and that strikes me as a very Republican stance, that you're worried about, the stupid people, the inferiors, the minorities voting against your free market interests. And we all know that you're in bed with the Republican Party with your libertarian quips and your Ron Paul circle jerk, etc. So, there is no reason not to support such an act, because more than likely that is the only way guys like us would make money anyway. We're not going to make money working hard. We're not going to make money by just coming up with some brilliant idea and it all planning out. Most likely the only way in our lifetime we're ever going to be debt-free and, live leisurely is if we win the lottery. So we may as well have a lottery voting bill. That way, every time we go to the polls every 4 years, there's a likelihood that we could win a couple $1 million and not have to worry about this shit. But to say that, it's a bad idea is just ridiculous. Who's it bad for? Is it bad for the 100 million people in debt up to their eyeballs and having foreclosure? Is it bad for just your typical person that could use that kind of money and do whatever he wants with it? Is it bad for the taxpayer that is wasting their money on much stupider shit than that? Is it bad for the multi-billionaire that when he votes he has just as likelihood of a chance as anybody else as getting that lottery money, and then he can add that to his stock portfolio or whatever? It doesn't make any sense to oppose such an idea. Only to those that are worried about the voter base tilting against them. And that strikes me as your type, amazing atheist. You are this intellectual juggernaut when it comes to the mundane. You believe that you are so intelligent and everyone else is just so below you. And I bet you're the type that would support an IQ test before voting. Oh yes, let's let somebody else decide for us if we're smart enough to vote. Let's let somebody else decide for us if we're deemed fit to survive and deemed fit to have health care and, food and a job, and you consider yourself pro-choice. That's all I have to say.